Hi there guys, now that we have our game concept defined, we can move on to the code. But the question here is, what exactly we have to do with code? You see, the main task now is to test if our game is actually fun, and that can be done with a prototype.
So what we need to check with this prototype is if our main mechanic inside our core loop is fun, and that is our combat system, because that's what you're gonna do throughout the whole game. Since our main weapon is gonna be a towel whip, I have divided the whip into two parts, the body and the tip. That means that if I hit the enemy with the body, with just the body, I'm gonna deal normal damage. But if I hit him with the tip, I deal critical damage, and on top of that, I push back the enemy. As you saw earlier, let me show it to you again. Here we have. Well, I have a bit of a bug there that the enemies spawn on top of each other. There, you saw that if I hit him with the tip, it gets pushed back. And how did I manage to do this? I had to use two separate colliders in the whip. If we can see here in the scene view, we're gonna show up the whip, and if we go to the whip collider, we can see, I don't know if you can see it, but the whip collider has this green outline, like this green border that shows that it's almost 90% of the whip. But if we show the tip, it's like less than 10%. We can say it's about 7 or 6% of the whole whip. And that combat system is done by using states. Here in this function, we can see that if we're not attacking, that means that if the whip phase is idle, we can go into the switch statement that says that as long as we press the attack key, the whip phase is gonna go on hold because we're still holding the attack key. If we stopped attacking, the whip phase is gonna go retract. And now if we stop retracting, that means that if we stop pressing the attack key, the whip phase is gonna go into the end whip function, which ends the whip. The same for our critical system. Since our whip has two separate colliders, we had to use different scripts for each collider. As you can see here, we have whip body detector and whip tip detector. Each one returns the specific enemy we're hitting at. Then we can finally know if we have critical damage by evaluating these two flags. Only if our tip flag is true and our body flag is false, then we deal critical damage. So the logic behind the combat system is simple. If the game detects that only the tip collided with the enemy, it deals critical damage. And if the game detects that the body and the tip of the whip collided with the enemy, it's normal damage.
Thanks for watching guys, stay tuned for more game development tips.